Yeah, just like Bella, I think I've been picking myself for like 5 years, so yeah, it's rough. Especially as a single mom, you're just like, I don't want nobody, just anyone to waste my time. You know what I mean? Like, I value my time more now. When I was younger, I was like, I I would get off of work, go change, go to the club, leave the club, sleep for a few hours, go back to work, go to school. But now it's like my time is very important. So once you value yourself, your time, it means much more when you're dating someone. You know what I mean? And you don't want just anyone taking your time and your space. People's energies nowadays is so off. You don't know what their true intentions are. You know what I mean? So when you like date people, I say people, don't just date one person. Get to know different people, different personalities, because it's important, because you get to see who is genuine, who is really about what they say they are about. You know what I mean? People will tell you, yeah, I do this, I do that, I'll do this for you, I'll do that for you. But when it's time, like, they're not, like, where you at. So, yeah, dating in 2019 is kind of rough, But, yeah, whatever works for you, I guess.
Let me add this to it. When we're dating, we also want to keep, not sharing so much of your expectation. Like, keep that to yourself, because you have people that will act exactly what you want for the moment or time that you do want that. So if you're on the first date with somebody and you're telling them everything that you want out of a man, then he's going to play that position for a month or two until he gets what he wants, then he's gone. So, kind of like sit back and just observe that person and go from there.
And also, do not share like too much of your personal issues or personal things that you want out of life, because they can tend to use that against you. So like I would say, be open, but not open enough to somebody can hurt you to that point. You get what I'm saying? So like that's what I feel like too, because like you said, people will be what you want them to be in that period of time, and then they get what they want, and then they do it. So you gotta be stingy with the booty cat. That's all I'm saying. So if anybody has like anything they want to say, like I'll give you the mic if you want to put in your 2 cents or anything. Anybody? Questions or questions? No? Glenn? No? Okay. Hello!
Hey everybody. Hey, my name is Hannah Afrogirlpodcast. Rahel's my god sister, and she's my cousin for my god sister. And I'm so just inspired by you ladies coming up here and sharing what you all are doing today. This is conversations that we definitely need to have, and I appreciate your candidness. I know everyone in here does. I came in a little bit late, my apologies, but you all are doing something very, very important. So let's hear what y'all got to say to me, because I love to ask. So do you ever think about, so everyone wants to, well not everyone, a lot of people want to find the one or end up with someone, end up being happy. And I have this fear inside of my head, like basically where I'm like, you know what, that there's always a chance, you're going to lose that person. Either you're going to lose them or they're going to lose you. Whether it's death or divorce or some other tragedy or something else, it's going to happen. So do you ever think about those things before you go into something? Because I overthink everything, and I think about those things all the time, and I feel like it's like a big guard that creates a fear. And I'm curious to know if you all have any experience or insight on how to overcome that.
I guess I can say yes. Naturally, if you're an overthinker, yeah, that's how you're gonna think, but you cannot stop yourself from destiny. You can't stop yourself from living life. It's kind of like with anything else you do, like I said earlier, be guarded, but also not to the point where you're gonna stop yourself. Like, love, you can't help. You're gonna fall into it. As much as you try to avoid it, you're gonna fall and just land into that love potion. But I would say, like, just take it day by day and just go with it. But never think negatively, I guess, because in life we're gonna pass away eventually. We're gonna, whatever happens, accidents happens every day, so we don't know that. But if James is perfect for you and you're happy, then I wouldn't suggest like stop. And then it's just like that people cheat too much, and I think about that. I'm like, okay, I called him. Why he's not answering phone? Is he with this girl that he said he was gonna at work or something? So that kind of also plays in my mind. But I can't let that stop me from being with that person. Kind of trust and having the faith, like nothing's gonna happen. Kind of thing.
Hey, thank you for having us. I'm Joanna. So I want to add something to whatever they said. I think for me, it just look for commitment, because here in Atlanta, I see a lot of men, they just like, oh, I like you, but I feel like they said, like if you take time for yourself and think about the things that you love and stuff, but most importantly, look for somebody who's committed to you. You see, it's important because when you have commitment, you don't think about the divorce and stuff like that. It happens, but if you know yourself and the things that you want to do, you find that person who commit, can share money and all those stuff with you. I think is the person you definitely need to keep, and he will balance it out, like your fears, and because everybody has fears, but think about that.
So, with the whole fear okay, so with the whole fear thing, I would say take a chance. You don't ever want to get older and just be like, what if? You know what I mean? Fear is not from God, so, and fear can always hold us back from something great. And then another thing too, it's like, we live in a generation and a time where we overshare. Sometimes what's going on in your relationship, everybody does not need to know. You know what I mean? I think most of the time that's why people don't last. That's why people end up divorcing. Even family don't need to know what's going on. You know what I mean? They may have our best interest, but they might not have, for both of you guys, they might not have your both best interest. Because at the end of the day, if my son tells me I'm going through this, I'm always going to think about him and his side. You know what I mean? Just naturally. And so always keeping what's in your relationship between you and your significant other is the best thing. And take a chance. I would always say, you never know. If it's meant to be, it'll work out. And if it's not, who cares? Now you know it didn't work out. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So you talked about death and divorce. That's why you are fearful to be in a committed relationship. There's this saying that says it's better to have love and loss than never to have love at all. So with death, that's natural. We cannot prevent death. That's God-given. People give birth every day. People die every day. So that is out of our hands. But when it comes to things like divorce and cheating, I feel like in a relationship is also about work. It's not like you meet somebody and you be like, okay, that's my other half, that's it. Yeah, you have to work for the relationship. You have to do things where you put each other first, you grow together, and you commit to each other. So I feel like communication, trust, honesty, and respect, those are like the greatest. Like people be like, love is the greatest. I don't feel like love is, because you can love somebody and not trust them. And if you don't trust them, there's no relationship. You can love somebody without respecting them, and if you don't respect them, there's no relationship. So I feel like communication, honesty, trust, and what was the other one? I forgot. So those are the those are the major things in a relationship. And to me, it's like, don't be afraid to love, because you rather love, because as humans, we are not meant to be by ourselves. Like, yes, you can be by yourself, but at the end of the day, you're still gonna need somebody there for you. So don't like shut yourself up talking about, I don't want to fall in love because something might happen, or I don't want to fall in love because they might end up cheating on me. You never know. Situations are situations, but to me, I feel like whatever's out of your control, just let it be. But don't be afraid to love somebody, or don't be afraid to be in a relationship.
I want to add on to that. I also want to say prayers is the key. You know, whoever or whatever you believe in. You know, sometimes you have a rough time. Just take onto yourself in that space and just pray about it, you know, and you will get answers from there. And with the death and divorce, I would say when you lose somebody through divorce, knowing that I give it my all, I'm happy to walk away. Knowing that I trusted you, I give you everything that I could, and if you decide to do what you choose to do, that's on you. And I know God has something better for me. And if I do lose you, you know, through death, that's something I cannot control. Knowing that I love you and give it my all, love live on.
Anyone else? Got any questions? Oh, we have time. One more thing to say. I want to say this is being very personal, but my first love, I happened to have a child with him, but we didn't end up being together now. At that time I was like, wow, I'm pretty much like, I don't want to date anymore, I'm finished. But at that time, it's just like, I had to realize, like, you know, life does go on. I've been happy by myself with my son, so it's like, life happens, but you know, it continues, it never stops. You know, that's all I just want to say.
And let me say this, do not be ashamed of your circumstances or situation. A lot of women, us, we're out here and we feel like we need a man to validate us. It's important to have one, you know, but at the same time, if it's not there, it's not there. Take the time, heal, do what you need to do for yourself, because we're strong, we're independent, we can get through this, you know? So do not be ashamed of it, do not try to be into something that is not working, just to show others that you have somebody.
So does anybody have anything else to ask or? Yeah. No? Okay. Well, we're going to move on to our next subject, which is colorism. Yes, it needs to be spoken about. So, what do you guys feel about it? Because I have this really dislike for somebody that says, oh, I'm not gonna date her because she's dark skinned, I'm not gonna date her because of her hair, I'm not gonna date him because he's short, or I'm not gonna date her because she's plus size. Even colorism also, because somebody's overweight, because somebody's short, you know, stuff like that, but mostly colorism, because I feel like beauty is in every shade, beauty is in every size, beauty is in every hair texture. It shouldn't matter what somebody is, who's somebody in their heart, because when they get old, beauty fades, but is their heart going to change? So I feel like it's kind of like this, oh, you have to be aesthetically pleasing for me to date you, in a sense, or you have to be light, fair skin, or you have to have this type of hair. So I mean, yeah, and ladies, do you have?
I might have something, but I'm not sure. So to me, I think colorism is really major, especially with this day and age with social media. Because when you go on social media, you see like the pretty girls are mostly the light skin girls and all that stuff. And a lot of people don't know that they have colorist issues, because we, like, as the Black people or African people, we are engineered to be like, oh, the lighter you are or the fairer you are, the more beautiful you are. And a lot of people don't really embrace their beauty. Because there's so many times where I walk around and people be like, oh yeah, you're so beautiful for dark skin, but I'm like, why you gotta add my skin into it? If I'm beautiful, I'm beautiful, you know? You don't have to add my skin. And then when you look at, you see these white people who will actually darken their skin to be on social media to make money. It hurts you, because you're like, okay, if you're Black or you darker skin, they don't appreciate it. But you have these people that are light skinned, but they darkening themselves to make money. And to me, I feel like we should just do better. We should start loving ourselves and just do better in this society. Especially back in the day, we didn't have social media, so that we were not comparing. Like if you see, oh yeah, you're beautiful, even even though there was still issues, they were not like blatantly on your face like that. But nowadays it's just like you go, you click, you like, okay, this person is very nice because oh yeah, she's like this or he's like this or he's like that. To me, like we should just do better.
Beauty. I see all women, all color, texture, whatever it is, we're all beautiful in our own way, you know. And it's sad that the world we live in today, people look at beauty as one way, even though things is, you know, opening up a little bit more to where we're being more acceptance of others, and you know, some of us are accepting ourselves regardless of how you feel about it. I'm gonna be the darkest person walking this planet and I'm not changing that. And you kind of own up to it. So, you know, we're talking about this and we're trying to make this into, you know, see for the world to see what's going on and also being accepted. But as dark-skinned girls, and you know, we need to own up to it. Do not be afraid, you know, of who you are and what you have. This is who you are and you need to accept it, and the world will too, sooner or later.